Welcome back to the Buffalo Take. This is episode 2. I'm Cam Dixon. I'm here with Travis Ogerbina.
What's up, guys?
It's been a long week. A lot of sports going on. NBA starting up. NHL is getting into full swing. Football keeps going. MLB's almost done. And that's pretty much we're going to run down what's gone on this week.
Yeah, this is one of the best times for sports, in my opinion.
October is a fun month.
Yeah.
Well, we'll kick it off with college football. We'll go right into the Week 8 recap. This week was an interesting week. There was a lot of games.
we got to start off with that Penn State-Ohio State game.
That game surprised me. That was
yeah.
I knew Ohio State was going to win, but I did not think that it was going to be that ugly of a game for Drew Allard.
Yeah. I didn't either. He played horrible. That was terrible. He did not look like a 5-star quarterback.
No, he did not. I like how in the postgame he's like, I sucked. And I mean,
yeah,
you did.
You did.
You did. There was no question there. But yeah, 20 to 12, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 20 to 12. Ohio State looked good. I just think
their defense did play good.
Outstanding.
Yes, outstanding. That's a scary defense.
Drew Allard did not play good, but that defense looked unbelievable.
Yes.
Kyle McCord looked solid. He didn't really make any mistakes, I would say.
Yeah, no.
No big turnovers.
He didn't look good, though. No. He didn't look great.
No. Well, he's not the type of guy that he's gonna throw for 300 yards a game. He played kind of like how I would think Brock Purdy plays. Like Brock Purdy's in the best system in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Kyle McCord's probably in one of the better offenses in college football. All he has to do is throw for 200.
Throw it to Maserati Marv.
Throw it to Maserati Marv.
He had a game.
That was said a lot. Yeah, he played. I mean, that's really status quo for him. He had 11 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. And then Cade Stover. He's one of my favorite tight ends.
Me too. That catch. Did you see that catch?
I did.
That was crazy.
He's a highlight reel. He's tough.
He is.
He's big. I really like him. I think he'll be a high draft pick for a team who needs a tight end. Obviously,
I think so too.
Brock Bowers, but. And then other than that, I mean, Penn State just ran into a team that was a lot better than them. They ran into a team who.
That was expected. That was expected.
Yeah, they didn't.
It happens every year.
It does. They didn't play up to what people thought they were going into this, and it showed. Oregon beat Washington State, which was expected.
That was expected.
Alabama.
They kept it close though. Washington State kept it close to the beginning.
They did. I think Oregon. We'll see how Oregon finishes the rest of their season, but Oregon seems to be on a year-to-year track where they always play like this.
Yeah.
But I still think they're a great team. I mean, Cam Ward played good again. I mean, good is kind of. He threw for 440 yards, so
440 yards.
That's good, but they did.
Yes.
I don't think he put up too many touchdowns. Houston put up a battle against Texas.
Yes, they did.
Donovan Smith is a dog. I really like
378 yards.
That's insane.
That is.
I mean, Texas defense is good, but I did not expect Houston to do that.
Yeah, no.
And then Quinn Ewers got hurt. He's going to be out for a little bit. That's a big loss for them. I mean,
it is a big loss. Who's their backup again? Forget.
Malik Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Texas, I mean, this happened last year. They lost Quinn Ewers in the Alabama game, and they ended up losing, which I think it's a consensus that they would have won that game if he was healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. I mean, their schedule, they play BYU, Kansas State, at TCU, at Iowa State, and then home against Texas Tech. So not the toughest schedule.
It's not the toughest schedule. They should be fine.
It's definitely doable. I think Malik Murphy's not bad. Maybe they drop one, but I think they'll be just fine.
I think they'll be fine too. They'll be in the race for the playoffs, 100%.
Michigan looks very strong.
Good.
I mean, Michigan State's not good, but
no.
they just
49-0. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I mean, last week I was saying what if They didn't even put up a single point.
Yeah, I mean, no. What if
another quarterback that doesn't really have to put up a ton of yards? JJ McCarthy. Yeah, I mean, he's just got guys everywhere.
And Corum only had 59 rushing yards too.
Yeah, they didn't really have to do much. They just manhandled them up and down the field.
Yeah.
Florida State.
That
was expected, I think.
That was expected, yeah.
Started off slow.
Duke put up a fight. They did.
They didn't.
But
unfortunately, they didn't score in the second half, and Riley Leonard.
No.
Riley Leonard just looked like he was rusty, I guess, to say the least.
Yeah.
They didn't really give him a ton of... I mean, they only threw 22 passes in total between the two quarterbacks, so they didn't really give a ton of looks, but Riley Leonard just didn't look like himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Keon Coleman's got to be like one of my favorite receivers in college football.
He's so much fun to watch. He is so good. And then you think they have Johnny Wilson too.
Yeah.
FSU's a good football team.
Yeah, they are really good.
They move to 7-0. Oklahoma and Central Florida.
Oh yeah, that game.
John Reese really Plumlee. He's so back. Dude, I love this quarterback. I was saying it last week. They put up a big fight. It was at Oklahoma, right? Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And then Javon Baker blew the kiss, and then it all fell apart. They lost after that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's Oklahoma outscored them in the fourth quarter 14-6. I was worried
only they got that 2-point conversion, though, dude.
That is true, but I was worried they were going to lose that game just the way the first half was going. I think UCF was just on fire, and it didn't look like they were going to be stopped, and then they kind of hit a wall.
Yeah.
But all in all, Oklahoma, another team that moves to 7-0 heading into next week.
Washington, Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Wow.
I think they're one of the most well-coached teams in the country.
They have to be, right?
Because they're not like an objectively good roster.
Yeah.
Like, there's no guys on that team who are, like, insane.
Yeah, no.
Like, they've been struggling
to held Michael Penix to 275 yards.
They play good against tough opponents.
Yeah.
They play up to their opponents, and I mean, that was the late night game. I was sitting at the bar watching that one. But yeah.
Michael Penix, 275 yards, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns.
That is true. I mean, Arizona State's playing good against everybody all season long, so I don't know what to think of that one.
I know.
But we'll see what Washington does in the next week. So, Alabama, I still cannot believe they covered.
They turned it around in the second half.
They did.
That was, yeah.
I mean,
first drive right out of the gate.
That was, I mean, I thought Tennessee had it in the bag.
Dude, I know.
I had like 4 or 5 money lines, which all hit, and then Tennessee plus 9.5. I was so confident in that. And what do you know?
Yeah.
Alabama played good. I think Tennessee they stepped up when they needed it in the second half. Tennessee didn't score, and Alabama came away with a 2-touchdown win.
Yeah.
Ole Miss.
I
knew this was going to be a struggle.
Another fight. Yeah.
Auburn's a good team at home. Their fans get loud.
They are.
I knew this was going to be a struggle game for Ole Miss, but they still come out on top, which is big.
Yep.
And then a team who has it out for the other ones, Utah, beats
USC
again.
Yep.
I mean, it's every year, right? Like, what do you think as a USC fan? They just can't get past Utah.
No, they can't. And USC is, I don't know how they didn't drop out, honestly. Like,
because they're USC.
I mean, they
are.
And
there's also not, I don't think there's really another, there is probably another team you could put in, but I think USC is still, because they really haven't lost to a bad team, I guess. I'm going to say if Utah had Cam Rising, they'd be a top 5 team in the country.
100%.
They were.
Bryson Barnes is throwing 235 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Bryson Barnes
against USC though.
He was struggling. He was struggling to win the starting job earlier this year, and now he's just beating USC.
Yeah, crazy.
And then LSU played Army. Like, you could all imagine how that went.
Yeah.
62-0. I feel like that's not fair.
Yeah, probably not.
It's week 8. You're still playing Army. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. Iowa and Minnesota.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on this one.
Fair catch, dude. That was not a fair. He did not call for a fair catch at all. That was a terrible call.
Now we want to see if you're an Iowa fan. Minnesota gets a good win though. That's Big Ten football for you. 22 total points.
Yep.
Somehow Air Force and Navy scored more, and they don't have quarterbacks. Miami
double OT,
double overtime. You were right. Miami did get the win at home.
Yeah, but I called it, dude.
I'm telling you, Miami sucks.
Yeah, they do suck.
They're not very good.
Clemson's just a weird team.
Yeah, Clemson's they're having a down year, and I'm sure this will continue because they haven't really had a quarterback in a while that they could trust. Also, TCU got hosed by Kansas State, 41-3. I mean,
wow. And to think TCU started off as a ranked team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just bad. Virginia at UNC. What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Drake May still threw for 350 yards.
Yeah, he didn't play bad.
They just couldn't get the ball in the end zone, and they couldn't take advantage of every opportunity they had. The line was minus 23.5. Yeah. They still lost to probably the worst Power 5 team.
It makes no sense. How does that make sense? How do you lose that?
It was at home, too.
Yeah.
I guess one team just wanted it more. And
I guess so.
And I don't even think
if they win that game, UNC wins that game, they have a chance to make the college football playoff.
Yeah. That should be an easy win. At the end of the game, Virginia fumbles out of the back of the end zone when they could have put the game away. They give them another chance to take advantage, and they just don't. I'm very confused at what happened. Like, this is one of those games that just
the numbers don't make sense.
It doesn't. That's just wild to me. Shout out to Mike Hollins though, 15 carries, 66 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
that'll do it. I got no words for UNC. They don't deserve really anything at this point. And you can't lose to Virginia.
They're done.
But they moved down to 17. So that's just it was a wild week.
Rightfully so too.
Wild week in college football.
UB win 24-6.
UB gets the win at Kent State. Also, Kent State is one of the worst football teams in the country this year. They're just not good. They lost their starting quarterback. I think he transferred to UCLA, if I'm correct. And they've got nothing else, really.
Yeah.
But good win for UB. They get another, what are they, 3-4?
Probably. 3-5.
3-5, wow. So they got to get 3 wins before they get 2 losses to make a bowl game.
Yeah.
Moving into this week. Last night, though, Western Kentucky wore their position group helmets. Those unis were tough, but they got rolled.
So why is Liberty not ranked?
I really don't know. They should be ranked.
At least, in the 20s, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow, Syracuse goes into Virginia Tech.
How are you feeling about that game?
I think Syracuse is going to lose. Virginia Tech, Halloween weekend, enter Sandman. I mean, Virginia Tech's not really good, but Syracuse they're not good this year. They're struggling constantly, and I would not be surprised if they drop this game. Heading into Saturday, the 12 o'clock slate.
Florida State and Wake Forest. Florida State should roll them.
They should roll them. Going into Wake Forest can be tough at times, but Wake Forest is having a down year.
And Florida State is Florida State this year.
Yeah, Florida State.
Very good football team.
Very good, yes. Oklahoma at Kansas. That should be a good game. The way Oklahoma played last week, if they play the same way, I could see Kansas winning at home.
I could also see Kansas winning.
And wait, we have to figure out if Jalen Daniels is playing though, because I feel like that decides it. Not expected to start versus Oklahoma. This was 10 hours ago.
Oh boy.
Well, Leopold is very encouraged by his progress, though, so whatever that means. If he doesn't start, they could very well lose by 30 points.
Probably, yeah.
If he does play and he plays good, Kansas could win
that game. Yeah.
But I think Oklahoma takes it.
Honestly, me too. Georgia and Florida this week.
Yeah, in Florida. Slot. It's tough playing in the Swamp. It is tough playing in the Swamp. And no Brock Bowers. We were talking about this last week. Which game are they going to drop?
This could be one of them.
This could be one of them. I would not be surprised. BYU at Texas. Texas should win, but
Texas should win that game. Yeah.
BYU's always a tough team. No Quinn Ewers in this game. I'm interested to see what happens. I think BYU can play tough, but I think ultimately Texas gets the dub at home. I think
Texas.
This next one's probably game of the week. Oregon at Utah.
I like Utah in this game.
I have heard that from a couple different people now. As much as I want to think Oregon's going to roll over them, Utah has looked good, and they don't have Cam Rising.
Yes.
They beat USC last week, as we just talked about, and they have been a really good team. They've only lost one game, yeah. They've only lost to Oregon State, and that was at Oregon State. And Oregon State's a good team.
I honestly think they'll win this game.
I'm up in the air on this one right now.
Okay.
Pitt goes into Notre Dame. Notre Dame should win, but Pitt has put up they beat Louisville with a guy who played at Canisius for one season, Christian Veilleux. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah.
He played good in that game. Duke at Louisville. Cool. Like I just said, Louisville lost to Pitt. I think Duke rolls in there and takes it.
I think so too. Duke is good.
They got to bounce back in a big way, and I think going into Louisville and getting a win is just the thing to do.
Yes.
This is an interesting one. USC goes to California. Now, at a first glance, you'd think USC would roll through them. But California...
If USC loses this game...
Their season's over.
They're done. They
should not be allowed to be playing.
No.
California can be tough at times. They have one of the better running backs in the country with Jaden Ott, but I think overall they're just not going to be enough for USC. And USC's got to bounce back too.
They need to. Badly.
They really do, yeah.
Yeah.
They need to win this game by 40 points.
Yes.
Washington goes to Stanford.
Stanford
got rolled by UCLA.
Yeah. Washington.
This just proves how bad Colorado really is.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of Colorado, they go to UCLA.
Wonder what will happen with that game.
I think, if I'm correct, I saw the spread was like minus 17 for UCLA. I think I'd take that, but then again, Vegas knows something that I don't.
Air Force at Colorado State.
Air Force is going to roll them.
Air Force should win. Yeah, they should beat them.
Air Force has games where they put up 40 points, and then they have games where they just can't score. But their defense is always good.
Yeah.
That's Air Force.
They should win that game.
They should. Tennessee at Kentucky. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
That'll be a fun game to watch. Kentucky's tough, but Tennessee's going to bounce back.
Tennessee should win, yeah. They should be just fine. Ohio State, Wisconsin. In Wisconsin.
Is this a trap game?
Could be.
Because Ohio State's feeling big and strong about their 8-point win over Penn State. Which it was a good win.
Yeah.
But
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's not good.
They lost to Iowa.
Well, Iowa's good.
But they're not that good.
But they're not, they should have beat Ohio State good.
Yeah. And then they did lose to Washington State by 9.
That happened last year, too. They just...
So, Washington they're not a bad team, honestly.
No, Wisconsin's not bad,
Wisconsin's a good team.
They're not... They're the little brother of the... They're the West, right? Yeah, the East is...
Yes, they're in the West.
The West is the little brother of the Big Ten. It's the way it plays out, because Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State are powerhouses.
Yes.
North Carolina goes to Georgia Tech. North Carolina has to win this game. They can't play with their food. If they want to prove that it was just a fluke loss, they have to whoop Georgia Tech.
Yes, I think they will. I think they'll bounce back.
I agree. They're in the same boat as USC.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech can be good at times, but North Carolina, they have to win this game. Like, their season depends on it.
Mm-hmm. JMU getting ranked.
Good for them. I like James Madison. They're probably one of the best teams like to come up from the FCS and just automatically play good. Oregon State's up to 11. I didn't even see that.
Yeah,
they're a good team.
They are a good team.
It's kind of like Arizona State, but Oregon State just has guys. On both sides of the ball, they have guys who can make plays. And I think
they only lost to Washington State.
Yeah.
By 3.
Yeah, and Washington State is a very the Pac-12 is just good all around.
Yeah. Good, really good.
It's good competition, I think, this year. And
it's the farewell season. That's why.
Yeah. And then other than that, just a couple Mountain West games to finish off the night. San Jose State at Hawaii starts at midnight. It's
why?
Because it's probably Hawaii. Nobody wants to watch it. But
that is true, and it is at Hawaii. That makes sense.
It is the only game that isn't televised.
Might have to toss. Oh, what? Yeah, it's not even on TV.
It's the only game that doesn't have like a televised logo where it says TV on ESPN.
Yeah, what?
What's the point of putting this game at midnight?
Yeah.
I mean, gee, who schedules this game? Oh, man. But yeah, it'll be a good week in college football. I think 3:30 slot's probably the best slot all day.
Yeah, 100%.
So in other college football news, we got 2 headlines. I think the one's the biggest one, but we'll talk about the lesser one first. Army was announced they're going to move to the American Athletic Conference.
I mean, good for them. I don't know how they're going to do, but
they might struggle.
Yeah.
But they joined Navy.
Yeah.
That's cool. They're both in the Patriot in every other sport, but there's no Patriot in the FBS. So good for them. There's going to be 15 American athletic teams now, which is they just keep adding on. So
yeah, it'll be cool to see the new conferences.
That's true. And then
how they shape out.
The big headline in college football this week: the Michigan sign stealing scandal.
Michigan is cheaters. Like Dion said, you still gotta stop them.
Yeah, you gotta stop them. Obviously, if you're the NCAA, but like it really doesn't.
No. Did you not see what Dion said?
I did not.
He said that even if you know all their signs, all their plays, your defense still has to stop them. Your offense still has to stop them.
Yeah. The guy could have been smarter with it.
Yeah. Probably a little bit smarter.
He used his own name to buy the tickets.
Yeah, what an idiot.
But, like, what in the same TikTok, the guy's like, having to go watch an Iowa football game should be a form of torture. He probably came back to the office and he's like, their plan is to punt. And that was probably all it was.
Probably.
So we'll see how this unfolds as time goes on, and I mean,
what would they even do? Honestly,
give them like a game suspension.
Yeah,
probably. But everybody cheats in college football and among other sports, but it's the people who
Astros.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's college football. I mean, a lot going on. Let's get into the NFL now. Week 7.
Week 7 recap. Starting off with the Jags versus Saints.
Saints should have won that game. I picked the Saints at the end. They should have won, but Foster Moreau dropped the game-tying touchdown.
Poor guy, dude. Honestly, though.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for him. That was It's a big
tough situation for anyone.
Yeah, but you know, Jacksonville's offense still looked good. New Orleans' defense didn't look as good as they usually do.
No, Jacksonville's rolling.
Yeah,
they're a good football team.
Yeah, they're solid. I mean,
they should win the South.
They should easily, right?
Yeah,
but we'll see. Then Vegas and Chicago. Leave it to Vegas to make Chicago look like a good football team.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
My favorite part of that game was all the news about Tyson Bagent's dad.
Yeah.
It was on like Barstool and stuff. I think it was from the Senior Bowl.
Did you see the arm wrestling clip?
Yeah. I think it was from the Senior Bowl when NFL Network was at there. And his dad's like a 28-time like arm wrestling champ. Dude, his dad's just like such a dude.
Yeah, he is.
But that's pretty cool. And then other than that, I mean, Chicago, I want to think they're going to be good when they're healthy, but they're just Chicago.
I know.
You know, they play like this one game, they're going to get blown out the next.
Exactly.
So,
moving on. Will Chicago.
That's 100% true. Moving on to Cleveland, they beat Indianapolis.
Myles Garrett, dude.
Myles Garrett. He
had a
did
fucking
everything.
game.
He did everything.
Everything.
He played out of his mind. I mean, at the end, I will say there was 2 back-to-back missed calls, and I think the NFL said they acknowledged it, I guess. I just don't think the Colts were going to win that game, even if those.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Colts.
Calls were overturned.
Deshaun did get hurt, so did Ford at the end.
That's a tough loss. I mean, obviously Deshaun Watson's a tough loss because you pay him so much money.
Yeah.
But Ford is a bigger loss because you already lost Nick Chubb.
Mm-hmm. Now you got Kareem Hunt.
And I mean, Kareem Hunt played good, but he's not going to be the guy you give the ball to.
Yeah, no. Hey, I have him in fantasy, though.
Yeah, hopefully. I dropped him in fantasy.
I had Chubb, picked up Hunt. Now Hunt's RB1.
Yeah, I tried to, when Chubb got hurt, I tried to pick up Ford. That didn't work. And then they announced they're going to sign Hunt, and I tried to pick up Hunt, and I got him, and he didn't do anything the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. And now he's the starter.
Do we really want to talk about this game?
We have to, dude.
What happened?
We have to. I don't know. It was just a horrible game all around.
It feels like what Virginia and UNC was like.
Honestly, it does, yeah.
Like, Buffalo was supposed to go into New England.
I mean,
and win.
They just looked flat throughout until the fourth quarter.
Yeah. I don't think Ken Dorsey's offense is working at all.
I mean, he has no designed runs for Allen.
No.
That's Allen's game. He's trying to make Allen something that he's not.
Yeah, I could be completely wrong, but I feel like Ken Dorsey's coached the carefree scrambling out of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Because there's plays where he can easily
100%.
take off and get like 4 yards, which is better than throwing a pick on the first play of the game.
I mean, once he threw that, I'm like, that's how this game's going to go, isn't it?
Yeah. And when he threw that, I'm like, okay, that was bad. It's probably going to be like the Giants game, but we're going to at least win, right? And I thought we had the game in the bag at the end, but then we let Mac Jones run down the field on us.
I mean, that's just embarrassing.
Our
defense is like hurt, but still,
but
dude.
We should not be giving up. Mac Jones is one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I will die on that hill.
Yes.
He should not have a job.
Completely agree with that.
That's the best they'll play all season.
100%.
It just
sucks that it was against us.
That's right. I mean,
I still don't know how that wasn't illegal man downfield on that Bramondre run.
Yeah, that
was interesting.
But that's about what it's been.
Put them in position, but still.
That's felt like what the season's going like, and that them picking up that flag just kind of.
Diggs should have caught that ball at the end.
He should have. But Knox should have also caught that.
Knox, ball. Has not lived up to that contract whatsoever.
And he has wrist surgery, so he's going to be out indefinitely. Yeah. And now we see Kincaid.
Quentin Morris is out this game too, so it's all Kincaid.
I did hear.
Show us what he's got.
I did hear on the 5:50 a.m. show. Reggie Gilliam. I for some reason I always forget about Reggie Gilliam. Probably because he's a fullback. Fullbacks are people too, but Reggie Gilliam is still there, and I think with him in the offense, I
love Reggie.
It opens up to more running instead of.
Yeah.
Like he can still be the backup tight end, but we can still run in those formations.
I mean, the bright spots in that game were Cook. Cook was
James
good
James
that game.
Cook.
He was the best player on the field that game.
Yes, if he can continuously play like that, We will be perfectly fine in the running.
Yes.
And we just have to get Allen back to running, pretty much.
Yes, I agree.
So I'm not out on it yet.
Figure things out. It's only week 7?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going into week 8, so
we're going into week 8, yeah. We got time.
It's a short week though. Play tomorrow.
We'll figure it out, yeah. Play tomorrow.
Home game against the Bucks, who are banged up too. Baker's questionable.
Mm-hmm.
We have to win that game. There's no other way
nervous,
to say it.
dude. I'm so scared.
If we start 4-4 with all these injuries, then it's not going to look good.
Yeah, no.
So before I lose my mind, we're going to move on to Washington at the Giants. Giants got a good win.
They did.
I mean,
we both called it. Called it.
It wasn't the prettiest game, but they got it done. And
Tyrod's just
start him.
I think he's the better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Start him.
No debate there at all.
Dable should not be. I think you start Tyrod.
You have to
either until he implodes, which I don't think is going to happen. I think he's just like a solid baseline quarterback. Or until Daniel Jones you are 100% confident that he can play football and he's 100% healthy.
Yes, I agree.
Start Tyrod. Just do it. You guys aren't making the playoffs. You guys aren't doing anything special. Start him.
Yes.
That's simple. I will say, a guy we missed when we were talking about the Defensive Rookie of the Year, guy who's going under the radar a little bit because he plays for the Giants, Deontay
Banks.
He's really good.
Really good.
Some of the stats he puts up, like he's not shut down, but he's played very well against some of the best receivers in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of good rookies. I think he's maybe top 3, but definitely top 5.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, and a guy we'll talk about in a minute, Devin Witherspoon, he keeps pulling away. Jalen Carter's really good, but Devin Witherspoon
he's so good.
He's just unbelievable. And then the only other headline from that Washington game I wanted to touch on, Jonathan Allen's post-game comments. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. What did he say again?
He said he's tired of this shit, and he's like,
he
was saying what probably any fan or any player on that team is thinking.
I mean,
it's
there's only so much you can handle.
Yeah. Like, and I know Buffalo's been good, but we've all had that thought. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of losing 5 years in a row. I mean,
playoffs. We had how many years of a drought?
Yeah.
We all felt it.
Yeah, it's just, you got to think, like, because all these players are thinking about it, but it takes the one guy to say it, and we'll see how they turn that around.
Yeah.
Atlanta at Tampa Bay. This was a funny game, to me at least.
Bijan. I have a headache. I had a headache.
He had a headache, man. I mean, you can't argue with that. He had a headache. But I think it's just funny. Arthur Smith, he just refused to tell anybody, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
And like, I've listened to him on Part of My Take before. He's a dude. Like, he's one of the guys. But man, it's kind of funny to me because like I didn't bet on that game at all, so I didn't have I don't have like a objective view about this. But man, that was kind of funny to me. Yeah. And then the Buccaneers just don't look good. Somehow Atlanta still won that game.
What happened to
Bijan?
Yeah.
I
don't know. Yeah.
Atlanta's
a weird team.
Atlanta is a weird team. They seem to like win the games they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And lose the games they shouldn't. But that made sense at the end. I just had to get there.
Yeah, I got it.
Detroit at Baltimore.
Wow.
Right?
Who saw this coming?
I mean,
Baltimore,
because that was my pick of the week. Baltimore, I will say that I did eat my words a little bit. I said Baltimore's not that great of a home team. They dominated at home.
They are really good, dude.
Lamar is going off.
Yes.
I think the question that arises, though, is Baltimore legit or is Detroit just a fraud? A fraudulent team?
I honestly think Baltimore is legit.
I think that's right. Detroit's a very good team still.
They're a very good team, yes. I just think Baltimore's
good.
That team. I think they are the best team in the AFC right now over the Chiefs.
I agree with that only because like I've seen the Chiefs only win because of
yes,
some circumstances.
yes.
Pittsburgh at the Rams.
Steelers. I don't know how Pittsburgh does this, dude. I don't understand. Pittsburgh. It makes no sense.
It really doesn't. But Tomlin's a good head coach, man.
Yeah.
Matt Canada, not so much.
Yeah. No.
I think that 2-minute warning challenge.
2-minute warning
controversy.
Rule.
I mean, it's really just the rules.
Yeah. It can't do anything about it. It sucks. Yeah.
But, and then you added this.
Brett Maher.
Dude, he was terrible.
What happened to him, dude? Man. Ever since that missed kick, dude.
He has just been, just one of the most inconsistent kickers.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And then he got released.
Yep.
That's tough. Arizona at Seattle. What a catch
of the year.
What a catch. Jake Bobo. UCLA legend with the catch of the year.
Yes. That was insane. I don't know how he did it.
I saw a TikTok. It was Pete Carroll hot mic'd, and he was like, I'm gonna throw the challenge flag. I'm gonna do it. And the one ref came over. He's like, that's a touchdown. And he's like, you sure? And they called it a touchdown. And Jake Bobo was like, thank you for throwing the challenge flag. And he's like, I got you.
That's funny.
And then another guy we're gonna talk about probably every week, Devin Witherspoon.
Probably.
That hit.
Another hit.
Dude, he is a tank.
Yes.
He's
so good.
You know who he reminds me of? He's Cam Chancellor.
Yes.
He hit
great hard. Comparison. Yes.
And Witherspoon's bringing.
He's just a dog, dude.
I mean, with him, Tariq Woolen. Who else? I really don't know who they have in their secondary besides them two. But no. Are they bringing back the Legion of Boom? Because Tariq.
Don't they have Jamal Adams too, right?
Yeah, but he's always hurt. He's
hurt. Yeah, but
I turned on the game and he was already getting taped up. It was the first quarter.
Oh my gosh.
So he's
old. He's old. Washed.
Yeah, he's.
They just got Frank Clark.
They signed Frank Clark?
Yes.
I didn't even see that.
Today.
Didn't they have Frank Clark a while ago?
They might have.
Yeah, I feel like that's where he was before.
Yeah, they just got him back.
Seahawks are going to be tough. They could. The way
they're
the
a very good
49ers
team.
Have played the last 2 weeks, I could see them winning the division.
I could too.
Seattle's a tough team.
Mm-hmm.
But Arizona also is really banged up, and the score really never. Often it doesn't reflect the game, but 20-10 is just not the prettiest.
Hey, at least Arizona's got Kyler coming back now.
Full participant in practice today.
Yeah,
I saw that. He's
maybe they'll start winning some games with him.
If he can get back,
people forget how good he is. Dude.
Yeah,
he's a really good quarterback.
I agree with you, and I think once he comes back, they'll win a couple of games. I think Kyler gets a lot of hate, and it's mostly because he plays Call of Duty too much.
Yeah, and he's small.
I love that stat. Yeah, and his size. I love that stat that it's like his like win percentage goes down on double XP.
Yeah,
that's just it's one of the funniest stats there is.
Yeah,
because that just proves how much Call of Duty he plays. But then Green Bay at Denver. How Denver got a win?
And they're still horrible.
And they're still not good. I think the Packers fans are finally finding out what it's like to not have a good quarterback. Yeah. It was just an ugly game. We don't have to talk much about that one.
Yeah, no.
Chargers at Chiefs. Mahomes balled out.
And Kelsey.
Yeah,
both of them.
They played great. Like, you got to give props to props is due. They played good. And like I said last week, I think the Chargers are still missing the playoffs.
And Brandon Staley is going to get fired.
I thought he was going to get fired last year.
He is horrible, dude. That Chargers team should be competing with the Chiefs.
They should be.
Every year.
And then Sunday night, Miami at Philly.
Look. Listen, I know no penalties called on the Eagles.
Yeah.
I'm completely fine with that.
On paper,
I have no problem with that.
I think if you watch the game as a Miami fan, you have every right to be pissed.
Yeah.
But as an NFL fan, what I saw was the Eagles dominating.
They still dominated,
despite a complete ref show.
Yeah, 100%. I still think the Eagles would have won that game.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Of course, they obviously you can obviously see they missed a handful of calls, but
yes,
that wouldn't have made a difference.
No,
Philly still dominated.
And now there's a narrative for Miami. Can they be good teams?
No.
No, they can't.
I think it's got to be 400 days now because it was like 390, but
yeah,
400 days without a win against a team with a winning record. That's wild. Like you don't even beat a team that's 1-0.
I know.
That's insane to me. But Eagles get another good win. I think they're up there.
Yeah, that was huge for Buffalo too. Yeah, huge for us.
And then just a weird game Monday night, San Francisco at Minnesota.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
49ers are struggling.
Yeah, they are.
When their offense is not completely healthy, they tend to take a big step back, and
because then it's all on Brock. A lot of it is on Brock.
Yes.
And that's
speaking of which, Brock is in concussion protocol.
Yeah. Sam Darnold.
Is this man going to see ghosts?
How's he going to do?
I hope he does good. I've always liked Sam Darnold.
I've liked him too. I always have to.
Unless he turned into like Tom Brady or like a really good quarterback in the AFC East, I would have been mad. But like he didn't really do much for the Jets, so I don't hate him.
I don't hate him either.
Despite being banged up, Christian McCaffrey still scored 2 touchdowns. I mean, I think I don't remember the exact number, but if you rolled over your bets with week to week touchdowns,
yeah, I saw this.
You'd make like well over $100,000.
Yes,
that's insane.
Maybe we should just start doing that.
Yeah, and watch, we'll do it, and he won't score.
And then he won't score. Yeah.
Other than that, in that game, Jordan Addison had a hell of a game with no Justin Jefferson. I thought it was going to be KJ Osborne, but Jordan Addison played great, 2 touchdowns. Cam Bynum with the game-sealing interception, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kirk Cousins, man. Primetime Kirk is back.
Yes.
He played great.
I love Kirk, dude. How can you hate him? You can't hate him.
He's just a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He's fun to watch. He's a great personality. Now, I'm sure if you're a Vikings fan, you either love him or hate him. But I love Kirk.
Yeah, me too.
So overall, it was a good week. I mean, some surprises, some obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Moving into week 8, we'll see some good games. But there was 2 police.
My Ohio State boy, Chris Olave.
What
are you doing, dude?
He plays for the
70
Saints.
and a 35.
He plays for the Saints, man.
And?
Look, we've all done it before, but you can't get caught. That's just brutal. But I mean, it's a speeding ticket. It's not like he was.
He's fine.
It's not like he got a DUI. Whatever. And then Justin Ross, he just continuously lives down to the potential.
Yes.
Yes, he was hurt.
I mean, come on, dude.
The injuries, but once he got back, you get a domestic battery charge. I don't know too much about the story, so I don't want to say anything that's not right, but I mean, he's just shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, once you get to the NFL, you're on full display.
Yep.
You can't be stupid, pretty much. That's really all it comes down to. Other than that, trade deadline's coming up. There was a big trade recently, Kevin Byard.
Yes, to the Eagles.
Eagles are good.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to give up that much.
Why can't the Bills make moves, dude? Why can't the Bills make moves?
But, we don't really have any cap space, so...
yeah, that's true.
I will say it's kind of funny that... I don't know if you saw the video of DeAndre Swift and Terrell Edmonds. I think it was Terrell Edmonds, right? The one who was traded.
Yes.
They were at the Phillies game together. And they were talking about how much fun they were having. They were hot mic'd, and then 2 days later they trade him. That's just brutal.
Yeah.
But
that's tough.
Yeah. So Kevin Byard will be good in that defense. They just get scarier, and they didn't even have to give up that much. But we will see in the next 6 days or so who gets traded, and October 31st.
Sounds like the Titans are trying to get rid of everyone.
Fire sale. They're not very good, so I would see.
I mean, I just saw today D-Hop. They're trying to trade him. I don't know what. That was the weirdest decision ever by him.
Yeah,
I just never understood it. It makes no sense. There was so many
other teams. Like I could say, obviously I wanted him in Buffalo, but there was other teams that he could have signed with that would have had him better off.
The Titans? Come on.
I don't know, man. Maybe the Titans just were willing to give him more money, and they thought they were going to be better.
I guess. It's Ryan Tannehill.
That's true.
Don't even get me started with that guy.
He should not have a starting job anymore. All right, heading into Week 8. It's a big week. I think there's a lot of teams we'll see who are legit this week or who are not legit. That's really...
Yes.
Start out Tampa Bay at Buffalo, Thursday night
football.
I'm
so scared about this game.
I don't know if I'm scared as much as we have to win.
Yeah, we have to.
I'm just going to be pissed off if we lose. Like, I don't think I'm scared. I'm just kind of mad right now.
Yeah. I'm annoyed.
I will say I'm kind of glad that it's a short week, because if we lose...
Yes, me too.
It's better that we lose today instead of Sunday.
Yes.
Because then you go through the... Actually, I don't know, though, because I don't want to go through the weekend after a loss.
No, we're going to win, Cam. We're going to win.
I know.
You're going to win.
Highmark at night. It better be loud.
Better be.
I wish I could go to that game, but unfortunately I can't.
Me too. All right, yeah. I got the Bills in this game, though.
I do. Yeah, so I got the Bills in this one. Last week we both picked the Bills. We know what happened. Hopefully it'll be different this week. All right, moving on to Sunday. Rams at Cowboys. That's a good game.
That is a good game.
I think the Rams will Dallas. Fight.
Dallas
should win.
Yes.
They should win. I agree with you, and I think we both got Dallas. Vikings at Packers.
I like how the Vikings are playing right now.
I do too, and the Packers just are not good.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Minnesota.
We're both going to go with the Vikings.
Yes. Atlanta, Tennessee.
Well, currently, you're up one game because we only picked one game differently. Yeah. And it was the first game of the week, so we'll keep that one in mind.
Yes.
Atlanta at Tennessee. I don't know. I think Atlanta's going to win.
I think Atlanta should win, right?
Should, yeah. We'll see if Bijan's headache has gone away. But, yeah, I think...
You know what?
Tennessee.
Something's telling me Tennessee, dude.
I don't know. Tennessee at home.
I'm gonna go with Tennessee here. Right, I'm going Tennessee.
I'll go with the Falcons.
Okay.
New Orleans at Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis could get a win here.
And that's who I'm picking.
Okay. Simple enough, right?
I like the Colts in this one.
I think the Saints are going to bounce back. I do like the Colts. I have a friend who's a Colts fan. He was very distraught after they lost that game. But I just think the Saints can bounce back quicker than the Colts can.
Okay.
Patriots at Miami.
Miami should win this game, right?
Right?
New England always beats Miami.
Well,
or no, it's the other way around.
Other way
around.
New England doesn't have a winning record, so Miami's going to win.
Yes, Miami will win.
Miami. All right.
New York versus New York.
Where's this one being played?
Can't be New Jersey, right? Why would it be New Jersey?
Oh, man. It is a home game for the Giants, technically. So, I'm going to go with the Jets.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Giants, I don't know if they can get back-to-back games, especially against the defense.
Which makes this Bills game even bigger.
Yes, it does. Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. Give me Jacksonville. The way they're playing, I don't think Pittsburgh can get a win in back-to-back weeks.
I'm going to go Jacksonville as well.
Simple enough. Moving on. I feel like this one's simple enough too. Philadelphia at Washington. Washington's struggling. I mean, maybe...
Philadelphia.
That's true. Washington plays good against Philadelphia, though.
Yes, they do.
I will say that. And maybe Washington's got a kick in the ass after last week.
Still going the Eagles,
But
though.
yeah, I'm still going the Eagles. Houston at Carolina. What are your thoughts on this one? Because I'm trying to figure out who I like in this one.
Listen, number 1 versus number 2 overall.
That's true.
CJ versus Bryce. I think CJ is going to continue doing what he's been doing. Nico Collins is going to continue what he's been doing. I think Houston's winning this game.
I think.
Oh boy.
As much as I want to pick Houston, you said this with the Titans. Someone's telling me to take Carolina at home.
Okay.
Did Houston have a bye last week? Who did they play?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they had a bye.
I think they had a bye, yeah.
Ah, shit, they're fresh. Coming off the bye. Oh, wait, Carolina had a bye too, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, okay, so they're both fresh, coming off a
Both
bye.
fresh. Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll take Carolina.
Okay.
I'll take Carolina. I don't know how confident I am in that pick, but I'll take Carolina. Cleveland at Seattle. Give me Seattle.
Give me Seattle as well.
I might be.
I love Seattle right
all
now.
in on Seattle.
Yes.
They're one of those teams that I really like. All right, so Kansas City at Denver. Kansas City should win this game easily, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pick Kansas City.
I pick Kansas City
If they lose, then
they just played.
That's the bad beat of the week. Then if they lose,
that would be the bad beat of the week.
Yes.
They just played too.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Weeks ago.
That's crazy. Very good scheduling, NFL.
Yeah, good job.
Baltimore at Arizona. Baltimore.
This is my pick of the week. Baltimore -8.5.
-8. They should cover.
Yes.
The way they played last week, you'd think they should repeat and win handily again. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati at San Francisco, and this is my pick of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati +5.5. The way the 49ers have been playing, now it's even less of a risky pick of the week because Sam Darnold's going to be playing.
Because Sam Darnold, yeah.
So I'm just going to put more money on it.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati +5.5. I think if San Francisco does win, it'll be closer than that.
So this is a tough game to pick, though.
I think Cincinnati's got it. I think you'll see a touchdown out of Christian McCaffrey.
See, I'm going with San Francisco.
You're going to go with San Francisco?
Even with 30 out, I'm still going with them. I still think.
I'm sure Sam Darnold will do fine. I just don't think he's going to do enough.
We haven't seen Sam Darnold in
That's true. That is true.
This system offense yet.
That's true. So, yeah, I'll stick with my pick of Cincinnati. Chicago at LA Chargers. This, for some reason, I feel like Tyson Bagent, if he plays in this game still, I think he's still playing, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Chargers. I'll just say
I'm
that
picking the Chargers
right now. I'm going to pick the Chargers because two things can't happen good to Chicago in a row. But I have a feeling. I just have a feeling, but I don't think it's a strong enough feeling for me to pick the Bears.
Chicago's going to get Chicago.
Yes.
Bears are going to
Why is that the Sunday night game?
I don't know.
Who thought that was a good idea?
I mean, what are we doing there? Nobody wants to watch the Bears versus the
Monday night game. I mean, the Lions are playing, but it's not a good game.
Yeah, no. The Lions are going to destroy them.
The Lions
at
are
home too.
Bounce back.
It's like their first prime time, or is it Monday night? It might be just Monday night games since at home since 2018 or something.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
That shows growth.
Yeah.
Go Lions.
Yeah,
I did say last week I was all in on the Lions and Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, and they got embarrassed. So,
yes.
But I think they bounce back and get a good win over a bad Raiders team.
Yes.
So we had a rough week of picks, to say the least. You went 6-7. I went 5-8. That was probably I've kept track of my picks, and that was by far my worst week.
I mean, there were kind of some upsets, weren't there?
There was. And
yes.
We both picked Detroit against Baltimore, which I was confident in Detroit, though. And then the Rams should have won. Green Bay should have won. At the end of the day, it was a weird week, but
mm-hmm.
So you're one game up on me, and we move into the next week of picks we have, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Moving on to other sports, we have a World Series set: Rangers versus Diamondbacks.
Not gonna get too many ratings.
Not the two teams you would have thought were gonna be in there.
Yeah, no.
But Adolis Garcia is playing out of his mind, and Ketel Marte played great, and he won the NLCS MVP. Diamondbacks are on fire. I'll give them that.
Corbin Carroll
was fantastic.
3 for 3? 3 for 3 last night?
And then he had the sac fly.
Yes.
So, yeah, the Diamondbacks are on fire, and I will say in that Game 7, once you take the wind out of Philly, they're done.
Yes, I agree.
Philly looked dead.
Good season for Philly.
Yeah, good season for Philly. I thought they were going to roll through the playoffs the way they started off, but Diamondbacks did a great job taking the wind out of them, and Philly just played with no life at the end of it.
Yep. I mean, the Game 6 and Game 7, their best players, Schwarber, Turner, Harper, and who else? Castellanos.
Yeah.
One hit between the four of them in Game 6 and 7.
Not what you want to see.
Yeah, no.
Predictions. What do you think is going to happen in the World Series?
All right, I'm going to go. This takes it 4-2.
Rangers 4-2. I was going to say the same thing. I do want to think this goes to 7, but I think the Rangers.
I think the Rangers are.
The Diamondbacks have made me eat my words in all 3 series they've played, but I think the Rangers are just on fire. And the Diamondbacks could do a good job of that by taking the wind out of their sails, but I don't think the Rangers are the same type of team as the Phillies. NHL had their Frozen Frenzy last night. That was fun. I mean,
you thought so?
There was a lot of games.
I didn't like it. The one thing I wish they would have done is not staggered at times as much, so that most of the games were playing at the same time.
I agree, because that's what makes Red Zone.
Yes,
I think Frozen Frenzy is a good idea. They can just tweak it a little bit, because it kind of really was just the same thing as they normally do, because that's usually what it is. The times are usually staggered anyways. But, there's a lot of hockey on last night for hockey's fans. That is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Sabres got a big win. They did almost collapse in on themselves, though.
Dude, I would have stopped being a sports fan if that happened.
That would have been terrible.
That would have been so...
We went to go get food. We were up 5-1. And we're in line, and
I turned the game off.
We sit down, and it's 5-4. I'm like, it was 20 minutes in between walking to food and sitting down waiting for the food.
I think there was 10 minutes left in the period.
That was unbelievable.
Like, I literally turned it off, and then I get a text from Tyler. He goes, "Dude, I might stop being a Buffalo sports fan after this."
Dude,
and I'm like, what happened?
It's 5-4. I mean, thank God we finished the game and won.
Mm-hmm.
But, man.
Tage with 2 goals, Skinner with 2 goals.
Yes, that was a good game for the offense. Look, defense played great up until the end.
Yes.
Now, you don't want to see that, but as long as we got the win, that's really all that mattered. I think... Betting-wise, we both had our picks of the week. Bengals plus 5.5 for me, Ravens minus 8.5 for you, and then I think the consensus bad beat of the week was Bijan Robinson's yards.
Well, yeah, 100%.
So I think it was...
Had to be.
Yeah, I think it was... it wasn't Prize Picks. It was the other player props app. They had Bijan getting half a yard as, like, their boosted...
Mm-hmm.
And he did get it at the end, but people were complaining because... week 1, they had Aaron Rodgers to get half a yard.
Yeah.
And they didn't even get that. So I did find that funny. And then just to pour salt in the wound, when they put him in on the last play, he did get a couple of yards. And that made the over in yards not push. Because if he didn't get in the game there, it would have pushed and everybody would have got their money back.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I didn't have any stake in that, but I did think that was funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
The NBA season started last night.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron looks old.
Yeah.
The Nuggets, Jokic didn't touch basketball, and all of a sudden he drops a triple. He's the most wild player. He's so good. It's insane.
It's so annoying. I don't like him either.
Really?
I don't like him.
I
think it's his comments. I think it's his comments.
I think it's hilarious. And hey, it's his 9-to-5 job. At the end of the day, he just wants to go ride horses. But other than that, the Warriors and Suns went back and forth last night. Every time I looked, a different team was in the lead, and the Suns ultimately got the win. And that's NBA is gonna pick up and start rolling. They got a handful of games that already started tonight.
Yep.
And we'll see how that goes. I will though. Shout out to Clarence High School. My dad is the defensive coordinator there. They went undefeated this year, and they have the first seed.
Let's go!
They got the first seed in the playoffs, and all they need is 2 wins to go play at Highmark. So
that's awesome.
Wishing them the best, and hopefully they get there. And then I will say another high school football. The game of the year in Texas is on Friday. 2 top 10 teams, I believe, in the country. I know Duncanville's top 10 in the country. They have an unbelievable amount of Division I.
I have heard of Duncanville before.
Duncanville's insane. And
yes.
So is DeSoto. That's the crazy part. These 2 teams are going to go at it, and it's going to be fun. Duncanville's ranked 6th in the country. DeSoto's ranked 13th. Both 7-0. I think they're ranked the number 1 game of the week by Max Preps. Yes. That's about it.
Good episode.
We talked about college football, NFL, got through the other things, and yeah. All right, so thank you for listening to the second episode of the Buffalo Take.
Yeah, see you guys next time.
See you guys next week.